Hey, my name is Steve, and in today's video we are going to continue on with the series that we've been running where we've used Claude AI to generate an MT5 trading bot. The bot that we have generated is using the MACD and EMA for filters, and today we are going to add a few extra features to enhance the actual trading bot, make it a little bit better for what we want to use it for. The whole idea of this bot is to use for prop firm trading, and we need to have some rules in place to stop us from making daily maximum losses. We want to hit a profit target and then close all trades. We also want to have a max loss set as well. But the actual features we are going to add in today and let's have a look at this one. We want to add a spread check before entry and also slipping tolerance. So in case our price is slipped at the entry time, we don't want to miss the trade altogether. We will actually allow a little bit of slippage. We want to have a maximum daily loss limit and the option to disable it just by setting to 0. And also one thing that I noticed with the current version that we've got, while placing trades, is actually checking in real time for entry signals and not actually when the we're looking for an entry when the MACD signal crosses the line. But the problem is if it's in real time, it's actually giving us a false signal because the actual price crosses the line and then returns again inside the same time frame candle. So what we want to do is modify this in a way so that we only check entry signals at the start of a new candle. So we're looking at the closed candle that has just closed to determine if we're going to get an entry or not. Okay. Let's get started. At the moment we already have the code loaded in Claude. We're just going to, I've just written the actual new features we've wanted in, and we're just going to copy and paste, and Claude will generate the updated code with these new features. And while we're waiting for this to generate, just let me know in the comments below whereabouts you are watching from. Just give me your city and country. I'm actually based in Sydney, Australia. I've lived here for the last 30 years, previously moved here from the country, and this is what I'm working on now anyway, my project. So we look like we've actually got everything finished, and I think we are right to copy the code now and paste it into the intermediate quotes. So just delete all the old and paste all of the new. Everything here looks good. This is the new feature we added, max daily loss. We've generated the code without any errors, but we did get one warning message. Let's have a look at that one. It's just saying that this description is too long. So I didn't know that was actually a thing. Let's make it a little bit shorter and see if we can get away with this. It's still too long. Let's just remove this last part. I think the main thing we want to worry about here is the spread filter, slippage control, daily loss limit. So that's fine, we can use that. And now we need to do some testing to see if it is actually working for starters. So have a look at our chart here and Control R to bring up the strategy tester. It looks like the last back test I did was on GJ on the M15 chart. So let's have a look at the input settings that we had for that one. And I'm just going to do a quick back test on that one now just to see if the results are still good. If it is, we'll just modify the existing results to see how we go. So that's not doing so great. Let's just pick one of our other pairs that we actually did use. Just looking at my current demo account, we are slightly down by about $150 at the moment, which is okay because we're only testing these EAs to see if we can actually get the best settings for them and then start using them for prop firm challenges. And you can see here that we actually have 3 trades open at the moment. All of them are in profit. GJ is actually the best one, it's up 75 pips, but the others are only at $5 and $4 in profit. So this is the set that we're currently using. We've got EJ, GJ, UC, that's Canadian, UJ, GF, and gold. So these are the pairs that we're testing at the moment. In the history, we can see we've actually had a few closed orders with losses. Only 2 of these were stop loss. The others were closed for other reasons, possibly like the end of the trading week or the end of the trading day or something like that. We do see that we have a few here that have actually hit our take profit, so that is actually good news for starters. So this is the group of pairs that we are trading. So let's go back to our back testing and we'll pick a different pair. Maybe I'm thinking J for starters. That was one of our better ones, I think, that we actually had. So this is our settings for the 15-minute chart. So we had a stop loss of 60 and a take profit of 80. We actually are trading from 1 AM but closed it each day at 2300, and now we have new settings in here for spread and slippage. Also our maximum daily loss, which is currently disabled at the moment, so that's fine. We don't need to add that until we're actually trading with prop firms. So let's just do a quick test to see if this is actually returning good results. And let's see, not so great, but we want to actually see if this is actually working. So let's do a visual check on this one, see if it is actually working correctly, entering trades at the right time. And let's start off slow. So I just want to check for the first couple of entries to see if they're actually entering at the right time. Here we go. Now the rules we want to look at for entry are, for a short, we need to have the price below the 200 moving average and also the 50 moving average below the 200, which we have here. With the MACD, I'll just minimize this one here. This is the questionable part. The close of this candle is where the actual entry should have been, but we can see here that it looks like it actually went down and almost touched the signal line, or the signal crossed the MACD line, but then back up again. It didn't actually close below it, so this should have actually been a change in direction here for this signal. So I don't think that signal is correct, but let's just move on and look for another one. So the close time I think was correct at 2300. Yes, so that actually closed. So now we are looking for the next entry. So actually we had an entry here for a long. Moving averages are correct, and this actually did turn out to be a winning trade. However, when we look at the MACD, the line actually crossed but then returned back down, then it didn't actually close above. So I'm saying again that this is not correct. The correct entry position would have actually been here, where the line actually crossed and closed, and we can see here that we changed the MACD from red to green. I would have thought the entry should have been on that first green candle, which probably would have been about this level here. However, it did actually work out, so let's let this one go and we'll just check another couple, see if they are correct or if we're getting entries in the wrong spot. We can also check the logic in the code to see if it's correct as well. So here we have another entry, and this is actually correct. We can see here that the line did actually cross over and we got a long entry. We did get stopped out, but the signal was correct, so I'm okay with that. And here is another issue. We've got down here a long signal, but the line looks like it only touched but didn't actually close with a crossover on the MACD. So it actually went up to the zero line here, and then we got our buy signal, but then it continued to drop. So that is not correct, and as a result we got stopped out, so that shouldn't have been an entry. In the defense of that last one, the correct entry would have been here, and let's see, yes, we would have got along here and we would have got stopped out anyway, so it didn't make any difference in this case. The result was still the same. Just waiting for our next setup. Got a short signal here, but moving averages are sideways at the moment, so this is not a very good entry point. We're correct by the looks. It did actually cross over here, but we got stopped out. So what I might do is just fast forward to the end, and then we can go back and check a couple of these to see how they work. This one here is, it looks like the entry was early on this one. So we can see here that the signal line, so we've got the MACD line and the signal line. The MACD line should have crossed the signal line and closed below it before the entry, which would make it around this candle. But we got in 1, 2, 3, 4 candles early, so we were an hour early in this one. The result was the same anyway. It actually worked out, just that the entry wasn't perfect. This one here, the same thing. We've got the entry for a long, which is correct, but the actual time when we enter doesn't really look right. So what I'm going to do is ask the AI to see if we can modify the entry rules. This one looks like it is actually correct, so I'm happy with that one, even though we did get stopped out. This next one we've got is no good. We can see here that the MACD line, it looks like on the live candle it might have actually touched or crossed over the signal line, but then didn't actually close below it, so there shouldn't have been a signal on that one. The signal should have been actually over here on this candle, so at the close of that red candle. All right, so let's go back to Claude and see if we can make some changes, but first I'm going to check the actual code for the entries and see if I can find out if the code looks correct or if I can see an obvious error. Now just checking through the onTick function to see if it is actually checking for a new trade at the correct time. And we can see some of the modifications we've actually made and what the code is actually doing. I'll explain to you quickly. So the first thing we're checking here is if trade is not enabled, so auto trade that is, it'll just return, so it won't go any further than this point, it'll just stop. And we want to do a daily reset check to make sure that we actually reset the daily metrics at the start of the new day. We want to monitor for any closed positions, so we're doing that. We want to check the exit time, so we're doing this. Checking the profit and the equity, so we're doing all of these things at the beginning. If we've already had a trade today, or if we've already exited a trade today on this symbol, it's just going to go no further than this point, go back to the start. We're checking now the entry time. If it is less than the entry time, then we don't go any further. We're checking for a new candle. If it is a new candle, then we continue. If not, it just stays at this point, returns back to the beginning. We check the spread before we can actually think about entering a trade. And then we're actually checking for a long entry or checking for a short entry. So according to this logic, this particular step here, check for an entry, should not be happening at all until the close of a new candle and only when a new candle opens. So the logic is actually correct, even though the actual entry point isn't correct. So I'm just going to have a look at the code for the entry and see if I can figure out if there's an actual issue here or not. So here's our code for a long and short entry. So we're looking at the current candle. Candle 0 is the current candle, and we want the fast to be lower than the slow, so that is correct. The thing that we might be able to change on this is checking on the current candle to make that look at the previous candle. But I think we're actually doing that already. And now I want to actually save this as version 1.05 before I make any more changes. We're just going to save as and find the, it looks like I haven't saved some of the previous versions here, but let's save this one as it is at the moment so that we can actually go back to it if we need to, and just reopen the same version that we're actually working on now. Nope, that's not the right one. This is the one we're working on. Nope, that is not the correct one. Here we go again. I think that one is. Yes, this is the one. So what I've got here is I've saved here version 1.05 as a backup copy. and this is the actual working model. So the change we want to make now is going back to Claude, and we want to explain to Claude that the issue for entry is that the MACD line is not closing above or below the signal line before trades are entering. So let's have a look. Explain to Claude what we are trying to change here about the MACD line crossing. We need the MACD line to close after crossing the signal line. So at the moment it looks like it's touching the line and then going back again, but we're still getting the signal anyway because it has actually crossed on the live candle. So let's see what Claude can do to modify this, and then we will test it as well. So we can see here that it's actually making modifications to the actual entry signals, checking for long and short entries. So it seems to be in the correct spot. This is where we want it to be. We can see here that it's now using closed candles only for the detection. That looks correct. So let's copy the code. Okay, we've got that same error here. I will actually tell Claude about this error and see if we can fix it. So we can see Claude now is actually fixing up the descriptions. So let's code modification. Yep, there it is. So that made the description smaller. We just get the most recent part in there to keep it relevant. So now let's do another visual back test. We're using the same pair, UJ, and on the 15-minute chart, we'll just see if it is actually opening trades in the correct position now. So I didn't slow the speed down on this one, so we'll let it go to the end and then we'll go back and check them. So here we actually have an entry. That one has closed, that is correct. We have a long entry here and that one is correct. We have a short entry here and the lines have crossed. You can see here, so that is correct. Yes, so we can see here that the MACD line is below the signal line, so that is a good signal. This one is very clear, that one is correct. This one is a long. It looks like that was actually closed on the line, so I will give that one the benefit of the doubt. This one is correct. This was correct, and it did actually close with a small profit. Looks like the trade closed at the end of the day, 2300 hours. But the signal is actually correct. So even though the moving averages are going sideways here, the 50 is below the 200, and we did have the MACD crossover above the zero line, so it is correct. It looks like this rule now has actually been satisfied. Everything seems to be correct with this one, so the entries are spot on. So now we actually have version 1.05 with modifications, and these issues have been fixed up. I'm going to ask Claude now to actually add in magic numbers to the trades so that we can determine between different symbols, and we have a different magic number for each symbol as well. I'm going to copy some code that I have from another expert advisor, which generates a magic number based on the account number and on the name of the file. I'm going to ask Claude to integrate this one into our EA as well. So to do that, we just copy and ask Claude to use this feature. Yeah, it looks like this has been added now. We have a new benefits, multi-EA support, so we can run on different symbols at the same time without any conflicts. Symbol specific, account specific. We have manual override, so we can manually put in a magic number if we want to, and manages its own positions based on the magic number. So everything here is correct. Let's copy the code and then test it to make sure it's actually working. I have actually wanted to make this change for a while, but I've just been putting it off. So it's good now that we've actually finally got this one in here. And there it is, no errors. I'm just going to look at the code now to see where it actually integrated. I should be in its section. So auto generate magic number and set the magic number. It's here and it should be working correctly. And I think when it's placing the orders, it does that automatically. But when it's actually checking the orders, I think it should also be looking at magic number as well. So let's have a look here and at this level. So when it's checking now for things like the entry time and exit time, it's looking at the symbol and also the magic number. Next thing is to try the test again, make sure that it's still working correctly. Yes, this entry is correct. I'm happy with that. First trade was a loss, but the entry was correct. Second trade was a win and the entry was correct. It looks like everything is fine. Great. So this is the updated version now of 1.05. I'm just going to copy that code over to this version that I previously saved as 1.05 and save it and compile it. So now we actually have a backup ready for any more changes that we want to make in the future. Now I will go through the code again with you now, so this will give you a minute to actually copy all of this down for yourself and give you a chance to learn a little bit about coding as well. So get ready and I will go through one page at a time here, and if you want to, you can actually just pause the screen while you take down the code and enter it into your MetaTrader yourself, compile it and make sure you don't have any errors. Or you can use Claude the same way as I do to actually generate your own EA. So let's go back to the start. The easiest way is each time I scroll down one page, if you just hit the pause button and code yourself. And that is the end of the code. So once you generate or compile that one, you should have no errors and it should be usable. The next thing is to optimize your settings again. Go back and watch video part 5 on that one where we go through optimization. So you need to do this possibly once a month to actually get the best settings for each symbol. And I think that's all we need to worry about for now. So let's call it quits for now and see how this goes over the next few weeks with the backtesting. I've got it on a demo account. I'm just going to now change the updated version and we'll go for the next couple of weeks and see how this works out. So leave a comment below. Let me know if you've actually been going along with this test with me, and if you have any questions or any features you might want to add, I will consider them as well. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit the like and subscribe button now. Thank you.